Yes. Mr. Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. I'm waiting for the ping. Damn, there it is. And we are live. Okay. So, you're in tune to Boxing Talk with Raphie 279. And we're going to look at Haney, Donair, Wilder, the Fury, the John Fury, the Luke Fury, and all that jazz. Okay, so without much further ado, hello and welcome. The damn setting on the mic on the streaming thing. I think the streaming thing, there's an issue with the streaming thing. I'm gonna have to contact them and tell them to stop mucking around, saying there's something wrong with my mic settings. There's nothing wrong with my mic settings. It was the same settings as it was the week before, the last show, and the show before that. But every time recently, I don't know if they're overloaded. I don't know if they need more servers or something. Yeah, I think that's what it is. They're trying to blame the Raphie when it ain't the Raphie's fault. And that's quite simply outrageous and unacceptable. But anyway, let me drop the thing in the thing. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so people can come on in. And welcome to all the people who have come on in. Where are we? Let me fix this. Let me fix the screen and make it right. Okay, let's boom, let's scroll down. Let's find that shiznix. Let's make that shizzle bigger. Okay, so I think, am I sharing that? Yes, I'm sharing that. Okay, so everything is in order. Yeah, I think I'll leave that one, that screen up there, even though it's last show's one. Okay, so where do we begin? Okay, let me adjust my mic. It's kind of blocking my screen just a little bit. I think I need a different type of arrangement setup. I need to reconfigure this shiznix to get it right. Anyway, hope you all had a great weekend. Hope you all had a great weekend, and straight away, Lisa Bayliss comes in with the donation, super chat donation, and becomes the first sponsor of the show. Much appreciation goes out to Lisa Bayliss, and we are joined by the UGC Flame. I'm going to get to you in a second. UGC Flame, I'm going to get to you in a second. But first and foremost, let's just say hello to the people in the chat. Thanks for that, Lisa. Much appreciation. Okay, where are we at? Uh-oh, what's going on with my bell? Okay, let's have a look. Nonito Donair, vicious performance, truly historic, indeed. James Jameson, hey, you're sabotage, my friend, sabotage. I think Shelley Finkel had something to do with my mic settings. Okay, we'll get into that a bit later. Steve Bunce, never late. Time is a mere concept, my friend. It's a mere concept. Okay, what we got here? Social media department. Yeah, get in touch with the social media department of the RDCR Incorporated. Incorporating all kinds of shizzle, all kinds of good things. And in comes the Count L. Salute to you, my friend. What's going on? Yeah, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and all the good buttons. Don't forget about the super chat button to sponsor the show. What's going on? Okay, let's get into this shiznix. Okay, so let's bring that down. The John Dealey, the Philip Carl Roberts, the Iron Kong up in the building. Okay, so how do I get that off? UGC Flame. How are you today?
I'm good. How you doing, sir? BHP in the building.
Yeah, man. BHP up in here. we're starting off with? We're starting off talking about the what is it? What's on the list? What's on the list? Yeah, the Nonito Donair against Oubaali. It was an interesting fight. People thought Donair was past it, but I had a sneaking feeling. It's unfortunately I didn't put no money down on it, but I thought I had a sneaking feeling. I watched his last fight against Inoue, and I was impressed. He broke Inoue's orbital bone. But he came back from that and won the fight by unanimous decision over points. So people thought Donair is 38 now. The lighter weight categories, they don't really age too well. But at 38, he managed to KO Oubaali in the fourth round after giving him an illegal. Was that an illegal blow? Was that blow after the bell? The time he dropped him in the third. Donair dropped Oubaali. I think it was after the bell. I think that shot was after the bell in the third round.
I just saw the highlights, but 38 years old, like you stated.
Yeah,
I call him Don't Dare Donair. You know what I mean? This might be the year of the Philippines, man. We got Donair, Manny Pacquiao trying to go after the top dog at 47. It's heating up in the Philippines.
Yeah. The rice and whatever kind of meat they can get their hands on. You know what I'm saying?
They cooking though, whatever it is, they cooking.
Hey, the rice and what they call street meat. What I call the street meat.
Oh man, the roadkill meal spirit.
Hey, roadkill barbecue over there all day, every day.
Cooking.
All day, every day, roadkill barbecue. But hey, I don't know. It works for them. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, it's so amazing though, man. Also in the same division, we got Guillermo Rigondeaux getting ready to challenge for the title, I believe the WBO.
Yeah.
And it's imagine if he wins the rematch, a unification between Rigondeaux and Donair. Gotta be epic, man, at this point in their career,
But Donair's talking about Donair saying he wants to rematch Inoue.
Oh, Inoue. Okay. Yeah, but I heard rumors that he wants the Rigondeaux rematch too. But yeah.
I'm sure he'll take whichever comes first. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he'll take whichever comes first, and we'll take whichever comes first. So the smaller guys putting on a display, putting on show, knocking Donair knocking out Oubaali. However you want to pronounce that.
Abu Dhabi or something.
I'm going to go with Oubaali. Knocking out Oubaali in the fourth round. At the end of it, he dropped him in. Oubaali was competitive in the first and second round, but then came the third round and Donair stepped it up and dropped him early in I think it was in the early part of the round or the mid part of the round. The early part of the round, I believe. If memory serves me right. So Donair drops Oubaali in the third round, and then he tries to recover. It looks like he's recovering. And then the bell goes to end the third round, and instantly, boom. I think it was a left hook from Donair. Sent Oubaali scrambling. His senses scrambling. His senses in orbit. He eventually gets up, but it's Jack Reese. The Wilder Fury 2 referee, and did his normal antics. He said, "Walk over here," and then after he counted to 9, walk over here.
Wilder Fury 1.
Yeah, and then Fury 1. Yeah, Fury 1. That's right. Wilder Fury 1. And then after he said walk over here, did his usual trick. He said walk over here again. So he can walk over somewhere else now. So
where you going, man? You're right.
So it's 20 seconds by now. And then He says, okay, go back to your corner. So Oubaali walks to Donair's corner, and then he comes back to the center of the ring and said to the referee, you can hear it on the recording, on the broadcast. He says to the referee, where am I? Where am I?
Oh,
Jack Reese, his blood pressure. Jack Reese's blood pressure must be going up now because the guy who he just said is fine is asking him, "Where am I?" So he says, "Go over there. Go over there." Oubaali goes over there to find his corner. But bear in mind, he didn't figure out that because that one corner wasn't his, then it must be the opposite corner. He couldn't figure that out. He had to ask the ref, "Where am I?" So. So he eventually finds his corner and comes out, and was it another left hook? I think it was another left hook in the fourth round that stops the fight. The referee, Jack Reese, no more messing around, no more walking over here, walking over there like trying to walk through a maze. None of that. He just said, just waved it off. It was unfortunate. It was very unfortunate, but it was, clear-cut stoppage. There was no issue other than the punch at the end of the third round seemed to me to be, well, it was clearly after the bell, but did it start after the bell? I think it started after the bell. But hey, what can you do? It's one of them things. If it didn't start before the bell, what is that, point off? Probably something like that. But hey, anyway, Donair was clearly the better fighter, and he got his just desserts, and he makes history. And Nonito Donair makes history. How does he make history? The Filipino Flash became the oldest bantamweight world champion of all times after he blitzed Nuruddin Oubaali. Nuruddin Oubaali. I'm going to settle with Oubaali. So the Filipino Flash became the oldest bantamweight world champion of all times. Seems like the Nito Donair is aging like a fine wine. Some like, I don't know, it's like I said before, it's got to be that the rice and the street meat.
Roadkill meals, man.
The roadkill barbecue, hey. Don't knock it till you try it. Don't knock it till you try it. Oh my gosh. Jack Reese is an excellent referee. Hey, you know something? I was thinking about it. And I said it before and I have to say it again. If it was any other referee other than Jack Reese in Wilder Fury 1, Deontay Wilder would have won that fight. If it's any other referee other than Jack Reese in Wilder Fury 1, Wilder would have won that fight. That would have been a knockout. What say you? BHP. What say you?
Possibly. Yeah, I hear a lot of people say that a different ref, most refs wouldn't even started counting. You see what I'm saying? So I hear that a lot. So I'm not going to disagree with you at all that if it was any other referee, because it's a strong possibility the fight would have got waved off, because the way he fell, it looked like the fight was over. So yeah, I can't even argue with you there. Fortunately for Deontay Wilder, things is in his favor, and he got another opportunity in this third fight. So the unpredictability when we talk about this heavyweight division, that's what makes it so exciting, because you can have a good feeling about how the fight gonna go, but you just really don't know until that bell ring.
You don't know. You just don't know. What's this going on? Yeah, because Jack Reese did his job. His job was to wave it off. Let's be honest. His job was to wave it off. Let's be honest about this now. Come on now. That is true, Raphie. If Wilder versus Fury was in the UK, that would be a British stoppage. Well, I think anywhere. I think any referee, any other referee than Jack Reese would have waved that fight off. What's this here? His leg was up. He was not fully knocked out. Is that what you tell? Is that what you said to the judge? Oh my gosh! Down notice, James. Down notice of me. His leg was up. He was not fully knocked out. OMG. Okay, well, I don't want to jump. I don't want to jump the gun. We're going to have to talk about Haney. Devin, damn, I should really have a picture of Devin Haney somewhere. Let me have a look. Let me have a looky. Let me put that up. Come on, let's have some respect for the guy. Let's get the right. Bring that down. Let's stop showing that. And let's upload. You got it. 279. Let's boom. Let's see if we can. Whoa, you got too many files. Each brand is limited to one. Please delete some files. Okay, I gotta do this live. Damn it.
Control Alt Delete.
Dang. You know, I'm sentimental about these thumbnails. Each one is handmade, and I'm loath to pull them down, but hopefully I've got rid of enough now. I've got rid of 2. Maybe it should be good. 279. See what happens. 2.
Hold on to these thumbnails like these fighters trying to hold on to their O out here, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what's going on. I gotta be less sentimental about these damn things.
Gotta let them go sometime.
Yeah, man, I gotta let it go. Let it go. And talking about letting go, seems like this keyboard's letting go. The batteries are letting go. I gotta press each key twice, at least twice. Damn it. Okay, that's much better now. We got Devin Haney up there. Where are we? Against Jorge Linares. What did you think about the performance? I thought it was a very good performance by Devin Haney, but he got clipped in the 10th, and it's like the focus has gone to that. The fact that he got clipped at the end of the 10th and was most certainly on Bambi legs. Yeah. BHP.
For sure. I seen a little Bambi work in that fight in that 10 for sure. And it was a lot of, somebody said this dude was giving out free hugs. My homie Tony's reviews right here on YouTube. He said he was out here giving out free hugs. But yeah, I mean, overall, it was a great performance from Devin Haney. And you're right. You know, I couldn't disagree with you. More of the focus is going to the last few rounds and how Devin Haney got hurt more than what he did overall, you know, in the fight. And then we also got to remember he didn't fight the normal Devin Haney fight. He actually fought an entertaining fight. Yes. He was in the pocket, and that was a different type of fight for him. So I think it took a lot out of him because it was more physical. And so you're seeing down the back end, Jorge Linares was able to start landing clean because his defense wasn't that sharp down the stretch. So that's really how I felt how that went. But he passed the test though, and he got somebody who's in the top 10, so they can stop saying that, you know, he ain't fought nobody. So overall, I still give him an A for his performance. But as a fan, I don't want to see the excessive holding in the 12th round like that ever again. I think that the referee possibly should have took a point or something instead of allowing the excessive holding. So as a fan, I don't want to see that again. But still, it was a good performance by Devin Haney overall.
Yeah, it was a good performance by Devin Haney overall. It was a very good performance by Devin Haney overall. Yeah, like I said, and I did it myself in the video, my immediate reaction video. After the fight, I did it myself. I went straight to, I gave him his credit, I hope. And then I went straight to the fact that he got racked in the 10th. I guess if you get racked in the 10th, then if you get racked, anytime you get racked, champion gets racked, it dominates the news somewhat.
Right.
It's just the nature of the beast. It happened to the Linares when Lipinets dropped him. The headlines was he's got no chin, this, that, and the other. But he went on to defend his title multiple times in multiple weight divisions. So the moral of the story is that you can get rocked and you can get dropped at any time. It's the nature of the game. It don't mean that you're no good. The HB.
Yes, sir. I was reading Philip's comment. He said he was walking like Donald Duck for a few seconds. Yeah, okay.
He was walking like Donald Duck had poo-pooed on himself. You know what I'm saying?
So we got to keep it real about these things. But when I look at that 35 division, not only did I see Devin Haney face adversity, but we seen Teofimo in the late rounds get pieced up by Lomachenko. Lomachenko almost got to him, But
sorry, I had to laugh. Philip Jameson's still on with this leg up business.
Uh-oh.
If you're knocked out, you don't hold your leg up.
I guess he would know, huh? He probably got knocked out.
What's this leg? Couldn't it be perched? Couldn't it be perched? Maybe just kind of perch, just in a certain angle. I don't know. Iron Kong, what's going on? You're knocked out with your leg up. What's this leg up business?
Listen, let's have some parliamentary procedure here. You understand me? A lot of unparliamentary conduct here today.
That's terrible. Come on. What's this leg up? What's this? What's this fascination with the leg up, James? What's going on?
He said it was his fascination with the leg up. Yeah. Why you worried about legs up, homie? No, good.
Come on, Kong, help us out.
I don't know what y'all talking about. I just gotta come in late. I hear y'all talking about legs up. I'm like, what are you talking about?
You gotta have one leg up in life, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how James Jameson is the master of the leg up. Where did you study? Where did you study the leg up?
The leg up theory.
Leg up theory. Where did you develop the leg up theory, James Jameson? Where did you study? Oxford? I know it must have been one of the highest seats of learning. You couldn't be coming up with these hypotheses off the top of your head. Surely not. Dr. James Jameson, please tell us where you obtained your medical certification. Was it Yale? Did you go overseas?
He breaking down the science in the chat. He said, "What happens to the body when you're knocked out?" Break it down for us, man.
What about rigor mortis? Couldn't you have something?
Oh man, this is going south, bro.
OMG. Okay, I suppose he wasn't dead. Okay, come on, Kong. What was we talking about before James Jameson broke down his theory of the knockout? I think we were talking about. Oh yeah. Haney's performance, I rate it as very good. It was more entertaining. You know me, I'm not big on Haney's normal style. It does not infuse me. And as a matter of fact, rat-a-tat-tat, I was looking at the fight and I was thinking, why am I so critical of Haney? Why am I so unnecessarily critical of Haney, even though I don't want to be? And I've got a theory. I noticed that his stance, before he throws a punch, his general stance in the ring is reminiscent of Sugar Ray Leonard. His body positioning. If you're stenciled in, his stance, his normal stance, just before throwing any punch, it's reminiscent of Sugar Ray Leonard. So I think subconsciously, when I see Haney, I see him in his stance. I subconsciously think of it reminds me of Sugar Ray Leonard. And because his fight style is so unlike Sugar Ray Leonard, I get disappointed on a subconscious level.
Damn. By default.
I thought his performance was great. To me, the man stayed there, run up a score on Jorge Linares that people usually don't do, and I think people are trying to make Haney something he's not. He's not a knockout puncher. Well, not at this point in his career.
Yeah.
Not a knockout guy. His normal, because he was trained by Floyd and them first. His default style is defense, safety first, right?
Yeah.
So that's his default style. He fought a style that was pleasing to the eye. Like I've said before, there's different type of boxers. The boxers you don't care to watch, and the boxers that you do like to watch. So, there's boxers that have good punch selection and good punch variety, and he showed a lot of punch variety and punch selection, right? He's fighting somebody in Jorge Linares who have more knockouts than Devin Haney has fights, who has more knockouts than Devin Haney has years of life.
True that.
And it was like the man is staying there winning every single round. And maybe that's the thing. He was pushing so hard at first to do all those things that late down in the fight, he didn't say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to stop this dude. Let me back off and just course to the end. He said he still tried to push. And then he got punched in the face. Yeah. And did his little funky walk to the corner.
Right.
And I thought it was hilarious, right? But it's like
it's always hilarious when somebody get rocked.
Oh, it was great, right? So, but people, it's like the man had all these rounds in his favor, and people just was like, oh, but look, he got punched in the face. Yeah, it's a boxing match. You know what I'm saying? He got punched in his face. It's a boxing match. Here's the difference, though. He didn't go down.
True.
He didn't get knocked out. And that wasn't the only hard shot Linares was catching him. Linares was catching him early in the fight, but it just wasn't phasing Devin Haney. Because he was fresh. He wasn't tired. He's in shape. And he was walking through them shots. But Linares caught him late in the fight. And it's like people forget Linares is an actual bona fide champion.
Yeah.
Multiple times. Has beaten quite a few people. And let's not forget that Linares, dropped Lomachenko. Teofimo ain't dropped Lomachenko. Teofimo ain't dropped these people. But it's like people want a reason to dislike Devin Haney. I never watched the Nakatani fight with Teofimo until today. I think it was John or I think it was Black who told me that Teo got pieced up with the Nakatani fight. I went to watch it. Teo didn't look great, and that was his first big test. Yeah. He didn't look great. Nakatani pieced him up. Roughed him up a little bit. But it's like for Devin Haney, I guess because he has this big platform or whatever, people don't like that. And it's a lot of people who are man fans of Teo and man fans of Ryan who are piling on like, oh, see, he sucks. But let me tell you something. He didn't get dropped like Ryan. Ryan Garcia did, in fact, duck Devin Haney. So how is it that y'all are giving Ryan all these praise about, oh, my God, he got up after being knocked down by Luke Campbell, a man who's not known to be no great fighter. You're giving him props, but you're giving Devin Haney hell for being punched in the mouth. And that's all. Didn't go down, just got punched in the mouth. And that's it. So people really gotta let Devin Haney live. Let this man develop. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with y'all?
Right. Somebody said that Ryan is screaming from the therapist couch, talking all of this shit.
It's weird, right? This man has mental issues, but finds himself always on social media. All of a sudden, I'm feeling better now. but I have anxiety issues, and social media is the one place that gives these kids anxiety issues. You don't have no anxiety issues, dude. He's just a duck. That's all.
Got duck issues, right?
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. I have to agree. I don't know why.
Look at eat Quacker Jacks for breakfast.
Quacker Jacks. I don't know why Haney gets so much criticism. But he does. I've been guilty of it. But I think I know the reason why I have been critical, because his stance reminds me of Sugar Ray Leonard, and I don't get Sugar Ray Leonard from him. But now I've identified that I have to look at him as himself. He is himself. He is. We're talking about Haney. Devin Haney. He's Devin Haney. He ain't nobody else. He's Devin Haney. He's got things he needs to work on. I can see that clear. I see I see a little bit of openness when he leaves his right hand down. He's open for a left hook there. That needs to be shored up. I mean, I understand people want to be slick, people want to be fly, and you want to keep your hands down. But hey, there's a consequence to that. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody. It can't work for everybody all the time. You know, there's a risk there, and you have to assess that risk. Do a risk analysis, and that low left hand leaving you open to the low right hand leaving you open to the left hook. You need to look at that. I was impressed. Yes, I was impressed by Devin Haney. Yeah, I thought it was a damn good show. A damn good show. I followed Dawkins Combat Radio. What up, my dude? Everything is cool and the gang over here, my friend. I hope you're doing well. And how rude of me. Sporting Advantage, come on in. How do you do?
Sport.
Yo. Thanks for having me on, Raphie. But just kind of going in on this Haney topic. I agree with everybody that's been on the panel so far and talked about it. And when you really break it down and you look at it, Haney threw like over 100 more he landed over 100 more punches than Linares. Linares had like an 18% landing ratio. Haney was at like 31. I mean, this close was the first. I mean, this fight was the furthest thing from close. So it's sad to see the day after, all the people slandering them. But I mean, when people look back at this fight, they're gonna like have big question marks on the people who said any of those things.
Yeah. I don't know why he gets unfairly criticized, but I don't know. It must be something because I've done it myself. So it's got to be something. I don't know. But he's a damn good fighter. We expect him to be. I don't know why there's an expectation that Devin Haney will be perfect. Was it because he was in the Mayweather camp? I don't know. There's a perception that the kid is going to be perfect, and he's far from perfect. I think when people just accept that, analyze that, realize that, and
it's an agenda against Devin Haney. I've been watching it for a while, so it's just what it is, man. Devin Haney could have had a perfect fight, and they still would have had something to say. They would have said it was boring, or because he really, come on, be real, he could have really outboxed him easy. He could have not been in the pocket at all and not make it entertaining, and it would have just been an easy sweep. But he didn't do that. But they would have still said something like, "Oh, it was a boring fight." But that's what I noticed. My opinion from BHP. My opinion is there's an agenda against Devin Haney to just basically discredit this dude, no matter what he do.
Damn. Do you know the root? Have you got a theory as to the root?
You want to ask? Okay, you ask me. My theory is there's you got the Hispanic community, and they bigging up theirs, and they want theirs to succeed, and that's cool and all. But it seems like it's in a direct agenda to make sure guys like a Devin Haney don't get the shine over them dudes. So somebody like Ryan, who they say he was talking about, like they can praise this guy for getting knocked on his ass, okay, and going into depression and say, "Oh man, look at that." And then, but Devin Haney can be a champ, defend his title, dominate, have a little adversity, and then you see what they doing. You see what they doing. Like, oh, this dude, he chinny, he this, that, and the third. But what about the positive stuff he did in there? What about this top 10 contender, this top 10 contender that was in there that he got a name on his resume. You know what I mean? The same guy that beat Campbell. Same guy that put Lomachenko on his ass. You feel me? So shit like that.
Okay. That's an interesting theory. Anybody else got anything else to say about Devin Haney's victory over Jorge Linares? Come on through.
I don't. It's because Devin Haney might have had a bigger platform than a lot of these guys before, because his name, because he was attached to the Mayweather gym also, his name been out there for a long time. People been hearing about Devin Haney for a long time. Devin Haney. And then when he went to Matchroom, that's also an issue too for some people that he went to Matchroom.
That's true.
When he went with Matchroom and The Zone, you know, he had a big platform immediately. Then the whole Ryan Garcia nonsense, you know, Ryan is this big social media star, but people was like, yeah, but you're not a real boxer. So Devin has a lot of things working against him. I see Philip says he was handed the WBC title. That's not his fault. Somebody took their witness protection franchise belt. That's not his fault. So if anybody's holding it against Devin Haney, then you got to stop, and you're part of the agenda. You have to stop giving life to anybody with a franchise belt who had to cry and be like, well, Mauricio, why you don't send me a belt too? And Mauricio cooked up a belt in the back, went in the back and, you know, pulled up one of the Cracker Jack boxes and sent one to him. You know what I'm saying? So,
to the post office.
Devin Haney gonna develop. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see him in an undisputed fight, but if he gets another fight in between, that's all right too. Let the kid develop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that. Let the kid develop. He's 22. Got the kid some slack. It was a very entertaining fight. He was technically very good. Does he have things to work on? Absolutely. You know, I spotted a couple, but overall, you got to give the guy. What is that? A B plus? Is a B plus? A minus? What are we giving it? What we giving?
I gave him an A.
Okay.
I'll give him an A.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll second that with the A. And I do like the point that you and Iron Kong were mentioning about, you know, a lot of people too expect him to, you know, be the dream. You know, he is supposed to be that guy. So, you know, maybe that is playing into it.
Maybe. Iron Kong, you was just going to say something.
Yeah, just quickly. It's kind of similar to how I remember when Joshua fought Klitschko. Like Joshua had 19 fights, right?
Yeah.
He got punched up by Klitschko.
Yeah.
He comes back, he got knocked down, comes back, wins the fight, and he gets these accolades. But Devin Haney wins the fight, and it's, you know, whatever. But you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Maybe it's true. Unneeded pressure from Bill. Lisa Bales up in the building. We knew Devin for years from YouTube and Sparring Wars. Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah, his name been out there for a long time.
Yeah, he said like trainers following him into the showers to, you know, try and get on his team.
OMG. They're never been up in the building. It's because Haney is on the zone and with Eddie. Yes. That's definitely an element. You know, a lot of people don't like Eddie Hearn. I don't know. I don't want to break the news to you. I don't want to break the news to anybody, but a lot of people over in the USA don't like Eddie Hearn. There's even some in the UK who don't like him. I've never really understood that. I don't quite get it. But anyway, yeah.
From what I know, man, he giving a lot of young athletes opportunities, man, that they never thought that they could get.
That's what That's what I see.
But to what Black just said, a dude like Khalil Cole, who he said himself that he was in jail. He came out of jail for whatever issues he had. And Eddie Hearn reached out to the young man and told him, hey, you know, I want to do business with you. And a lot of them cats getting opportunities with Eddie Hearn, man. So I don't understand why people giving this dude any kind of issues. I've never heard Eddie Hearn do no bad business and nothing like that. So
creating young millionaires.
States. Yeah, me and Sporting Advantage, we in the States, and the stuff that he doing for people in the States, man, like a lot of other promoters wouldn't even fucking do that shit. So I respect Eddie Hearn, man. I don't hate on that guy like most of them Americans do.
Yeah. You got some UK haters as well. I've never really quite understood it. But it is what it is. You can have lovers, haters, false alligators. That's how it has always been and most likely always will be. Okay, that's truth. Truth son says yes, Sign Kong, let the man develop. People just criticize for agendas, no matter what people do. Agenda people criticize. Yes, it's hate versus Hearn.
But don't get me wrong, you know, nobody is above criticism, eh? So Devin Haney need to get, like what Black said. Black said he thought a point should have been taken, or at least a warning. So nobody is above criticism. Nobody is above criticism. But you can't ignore the man for 9 rounds. You ignore that. And then be like, but look, you got wobbly legs. Okay, but what about these 9 rounds though? When I was punching this dude up all in his belly and all kind of thing.
Yeah. What about the 9 rounds? What about the 9 rounds? What about those rounds when everything was sweet and everything was copacetic? What about that? Selective memory. I think the Eddie Hearn thing is a part of it. The Mayweather Jim thing is a part of it. There's a number of factors, but I think that you just
they act like Haney didn't have no highlights. They only pay attention to Linares highlights, I guess.
Let the kid be. Let the kid grow. He's 22. He's developing. His style. I don't like his defensive style. It's not to my liking. But when he's more aggressive, like he was on Saturday night, then I like that. I do like that. And in comes a man like Coach K, aka Zone 6. How do you do?
What's up, man? How you doing?
It's all good over here, my friend. It's all good over here. Good of you to join us. And we're talking about Devin Haney. We're talking about his performance last night, and we're talking about the criticism. Does he get unjust criticism?
First, I'm gonna say shout out to everybody. Happy Memorial Day, especially to all the veterans out there. So I'm gonna start, and that's across the world. Let me start by saying I wasn't necessarily a Devin Haney fan before last night, and that's because he just hadn't earned. I just hadn't seen anything. You know what I'm saying? I watched him, I liked him, but I didn't really just advocate for him until I saw something. And then he showed me a lot with the fight last night, man. He showed me different levels. I like his jab. I like his speed. I like how he was going to that body. He was changing levels. I like the little pivot that he does when he gets on the inside and he kind of bob and weave up under your elbows, and he go to the side and hit the body and come back up and hit the top of the head. Now, whenever there's going to be flaws, first of all, Linares is a good fighter. If you don't stop him prior to Devin Haney, you're going to lose on the cards. The Linares is a veteran. Linares can fight. Linares still is a serviceable fighter right now to this day. So Haney beating him is a testament to his growth. And what really stood out to me from David Haney, man, and this is what really turned me into a fan. When I heard his post-fight interview, the way he controls the narrative for himself, the stuff that he said, it wasn't no woe is me. It was like he was checking everything and keeping people on course. Like, hey, do he got a title? What are you talking about? I'm going to do this next. If this happens, he just has a plan. And his dad is well-spoken. He's well-spoken. So I'm a fan of Devin Haney. I like his skill set. The criticism, I can understand it. I think it is fair because he's moving into that phase where he's going to cross over from contingency title holder to trying to, build on a Hall of Fame career. Because, once you win the title, now everything that we're looking at is to see if you become undisputed multi-weight world champion. We're trying to see what you can do for us this Hall of Fame run because he is a champion. So the standard is going to be raised. We got to admit that. We got to be logical about that. We can't just baby these guys, but at the same time, we do got to pay homage when it is time. And I think it is a little time to do that. And let's just see what he do next from here.
Yes. So let me go around the panel and ask what next for Devin Haney. What do you want to see him? What do you want to see him do next? What's his next move?
Undisputed, man. I want to see him. After the Kambosos fight with Teofimo, I want to see him go after that fight. And clear up this WBC situation. And that's the only division where it's that we got a disputed undisputed. So to clear that up, hopefully that fight get made. But sky's the limit for Devin Haney. I've been a fan of him. I'm glad he got an opportunity to showcase his talent against a top name, in the division. And I think he's just going to get better and better from this, So yeah, sky's the limit for Devin.
Okay. Iron Kong. Who do you want to see Devin in with next?
Yeah, it's always been my opinion that as long as you have a championship belt, a legit championship belt, like what Coach K alluded to, where Devin had to check a reporter was like, "Oh, you're gonna fight Tank for a belt?" Devin was like, "Well, what belt do Tank got?" Anyway, it's always been my opinion, as long as you have a championship belt, the only people you're supposed to be fighting are other champions or you're mandatory. You don't have no belt and fall asleep on your belt. Other champions are your mandatory, and the only other champion at 135 is Teofimo. So undisputed. If that fight can't be made, then he's mandatory. That's it.
Yes. Coach K, you want to see him against Teofimo next?
Yeah, I agree. I like Lopez. I mean, that's to clean up the division and then get him some surefire legacy off the bat with that title that he got. Undisputed or mandatory. That's just a logical course of action.
Hey, can I ask Coach a question? Hey, what's your thoughts after seeing Haney last night versus over the weekend versus Linares? What's your thoughts? Does that change your view on the fight, Tio and Devin Haney matching up?
I don't know yet, man. I have to see them two in training camp. Lopez is throwing a curveball right now with his attitude, so it's hard. People kind of get lost in that and they'll get mad because what he's saying and what he's doing. But I think it's all just to build a fan base and to start some controversy. So right now I don't know until they get into a camp. I had to see them two in the camp in a pre-fight build up. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. I'm leaning to I will be rooting for Devin Haney. I think he will be a better champion, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I just think he's the way he talked, the way he walked, his dad. I like their whole setup over there more so than Tio. That's on some social shit now, but he got to go in there and fight. So if he don't win, that goes out the window. See, I can separate the two. Unlike, I know the Deontay Wilder thing is hard to do for some people, but I can separate hands from social issues. So I like Haney. I will be rooting for Haney at this point until I see some more information.
Okay. Sporting advantage.
Yeah, like these guys were saying, yeah, Teofimo, that's the clear choice everybody wants. But if that does not get made, I would not mind a fight with Loma or even Ryan Garcia. And I know everybody's sighing right now, saying no, not Ryan. But that fight's been building up since the amateurs. They split hairs with each other in the amateurs and fights. So it's one of those fights we wanted to see. And when it comes to Teofimo, when we look at it from a back in the day argument, it's like there's never a day that he was ever going to beat Haney because Haney was the better boxer. So it's one of those things that if he doesn't get the Teofimo fight, I'm going to start calling Tio a little bit of a duck here because I haven't forgot that. And if you can't get that, let's get the Ryan fight happening. It's going to do big numbers and it's going to clear up all these silver and all these other BS WBC stuff.
Okay, so let me stay with you, Sporting Advantage. Who do you think wins? I'm going to go reverse around the table in reverse. Who do you think wins, Teofimo Lopez or Devin Haney?
I believe Devin Haney will win this fight. I believe it will be similar. I don't want to say similar to the Linares fight because I do believe Teofimo will be a little bit more productive in the earlier rounds. But again, when it comes to pure boxing, I just don't see Teofimo being able to stand and outpoint Haney. So he may, rock Haney later, and people will do this whole, fiasco again. But when we look at the stats, Haney's been putting up these numbers. So yeah, I'm going to go with Haney.
Okay, reverse, going back to Coach K. Who do you think wins? Did you ask that question before? Did you answer that question?
Well, I said I'll be rooting for him, but if I were to take the styles and break it down right now, because I can do that, I like the fact that Devin Haney got hit against Linares so that I can see what his chin like. He did a little stanky leg motion, and I get it. But he needs to understand that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And he needs to kind of start getting some muscle memory on unfavorable outcomes.
Yeah.
So everything's not going to be perfect. And I don't want you to get into a situation that you haven't seen on a big stage against Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah.
So him getting his chin checked is going to build confidence for him, and it built confidence in his chin for me as a fan now.
Yeah.
So I think that he can outpoint Lopez, but I think he'll be able to withstand the power of Lopez. Now, Lopez punched harder than Linares, but I think that Devin Haney has been introduced to a situation where he know, okay, I need to make sure that I keep this chin tight.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to see him do, and this will take me over the top for Haney, they need to work on his small muscle groups, his shoulder strength, do some flies so that this kid can gain some power. Now, I know he's 22, and sometimes guys get stronger or extremely stronger when they be about 26, 27. I've seen it with guys all my life. A guy might be 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, still had that kid spunky type of strength. But we need to get this guy to a space where he's grown man. This is kind of like how Canelo did. And where Canelo's coming now, he's saying he fought Mayweather too early, and you can see there's some greenness there. And now Canelo's developing to his manhood. He's a little bit more stronger, a little bit more durable. I think we need to get Haney in that position however we can. And I think once we do that, he'll be a monster. So I can see Haney beating him by decision.
Okay. Round the table in reverse is the Iron Kong. Who you got?
At this moment, I talking right now, and it has nothing to do with the fight last weekend. I would have to go with Teofimo right now because he's shown me more in the ring against higher level opposition. Right? He fought Comey, fought Lomachenko, so I've seen that right now. Right? Maybe as the fight get closer, I might rethink it. But as you're speaking to me right now, I would have to go with Teofimo, because of what I've seen more from him at a higher level.
Yes. BHP.
I want to say, when it comes to that man strength with Canelo, I think he got his man strength early because it was something else going on. He was doing something else, but whatever. That's a different conversation. But I'm gonna go with Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney, as long as he keep that jab and Teofimo face all night and keep jabbing upstairs, downstairs, and box smart, Teofimo can't beat Devin Haney. I will give Teofimo a puncher's chance though, but he can't. I can see Devin Haney banking way more rounds than Teofimo, and Teofimo playing catch up, trying to land something big and just getting countered and being frustrated. So I got Devin Haney.
Okay. I went around the pound because I just wanted to see if anybody felt the way I felt. And yes, right about now, I would have to. I do lean towards Teofimo Lopez. Why? I've just seen. I saw Teo take out Coleman. I saw him. What else did I see? I seen him take out couple cats, and then I saw him run away with the Lomachenko fight, where Lomachenko didn't do nothing for 6 rounds, and I saw him tire against Lomachenko, but still grit it out. That was a gut check. So right about now, to me, Teofimo is the more accomplished of the two. Don't mean that he's gonna win, but I just edge towards Teofimo. He's just the more accomplished. He's had the bigger gut check. That was one hell of a gut check in the second half of the Lomachenko fight. That was one hell of a gut check. And towards the end, I think in the 12th, I think he needed, on my scorecard, he needed to win the 12th to win the fight. And he'd been losing round. And he'd been losing round and round after round in the second half of that fight. And it came down to the 12th round on my scorecard. And he needed to win it. and by damn, he came back and won it. He's had the tougher gut check. He's had the tougher gut check, and he came through it against Lomachenko. Me personally, I think Haney just leave him to simmer. Leave him to simmer. Don't rush into this one. Keep building. Because
so you don't think he's ready?
I don't think he's ready. Put me on the spot. I don't think he's ready.
He's a champ, bro.
He ain't cooked yet.
Yeah, I mean, we got to question that. If he a champ, how can we say let him simmer? He ain't ready. I mean,
well, we've seen it many times, my friend. We've seen that many times. I mean, hey, I suppose I'm gonna have to be the bad guy.
You good. We're just asking, like,
hey, let me come up with a quote. Then let me come up with a quote. He's just a baby.
Nah, see, now they gonna start calling him the baby champ. You can't do that.
He's just a baby. He ain't ready. He might be ready. I'm just saying. Listen, if I'm his manager, if I'm Haney's manager, I'm just saying, yo, just pump the brakes a little bit. Let's just take it steady. Let's get Garcia for next. Let's get Garcia next. Let's not go straight to. Where's that background noise coming from? The crunching. Seems like some. Okay. It's good now. Listen, I think he ain't ready. I'm saying he's just a baby. I'm just saying he might be ready, but I'm not sure. I'm his manager. There's money involved. I'm not sure right now.
That means we're gonna see T.O. with another Triller fight before we get the Devin Haney fight. I don't want to see that, man. I want to see him undisputed. That's just me as a fan. I want to see that. Whether he ready or not, I'll be like, hey, I want to see them dudes fight.
Raphie, what makes you think, and that's a good question. He has a title.
Yeah.
What makes you think he's not ready, although he's a title holder? Because I hear this a lot. A guy win the title and we'll say different things. Not saying you're contradicting yourself. I'm talking about us as a collective. Yeah. Sometimes we'll say a guy's not fought anybody, and then we'll want him to hurry up and fight somebody. Then we'll talk about guys are not ready. So I'm just trying to figure that happy medium out. What makes you think that Devin Haney's not ready to be undisputed or fight for undisputed against Lopez?
Okay, I'll answer that one. But in the meantime, Zone, Coach K, could you adjust your mic because there's some.
It is kind of static, yeah, Coach.
Yeah, staticky. Your mic is like it's got a lot of static somehow. If you could adjust that.
Okay, I will. All right.
Yeah, thank you. So, what makes me feel that Haney's not ready? Well, I think I've spoken about this before. I'm not satisfied with Haney. I was impressed with his performance last night. Yes, I liked that last night. I like what I saw last night. I mean, Saturday night. But generally, I feel he's almost like he's tentative. And when he's standing with that wide stance, it's almost like, let me get one or two shots off on you and then jump back out. And it's a herky-jerky. It's not a good flow that I normally see from Haney. His style does not satisfy me. His style typically is not fluid enough for me. And it's not pleasing to me. Last night's performance, on the other hand, a more aggressive Haney, a more in the pocket Haney, I did find that enjoyable. But this standing out of range and just jumping in with a shot or maybe two, and maybe that's the reason why he uses that style, because he generates more power when he lunges in with a big overhand hook. People are talking about, is he underpowered? Well, maybe that's one of the reasons he employs that out of range lunging in style.
So, Raphie,
he can generate more power that way. Yeah.
So if he used that outside stay away kind of style in and out, say against T.O., you think he'll have a better chance? Or because you said that's not a pleasing style, but
yeah, he'd have a better chance.
It's gonna
fight in the style that doesn't please me. Yes, he will have a better.
Okay, all right.
Yes, if he uses that style, then yes.
And you don't want him to use that style to beat your boy T.O.
Well, hey, he's gonna have to use that style, but I'd rather him fight T.O. when he could fight, when he could be a bit more versatile rather than just using that outside predictable style. You understand what I'm saying? I'd like him to just refine a little bit more so he can fight the outside game and fight the inside game with Tio as and when is appropriate. Do you see what I'm saying? I just like guys to be versatile.
Yeah, I agree. Let me get another sound check. How it sound now?
Yeah, it sounds better now. No static. I like that. Sounds better.
Yeah, get that little microphone real quick. But you know, I agree. I can understand the concern. But again, Ralph, this is why we box. You know, now I can give you this. If we're going to, and you said it right, you said Ryan Garcia would be a good fight. If it's a mandatory or something like that to get some rust off, or in this case, if he wanted to have a pre-fight before Undisputed, this Devin Haney, I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because again, the guy is 22. So then my thing would be, are we saying we would like for Haney to delay his process in pursuit of Undisputed?
Me personally, I'm saying, pump the brakes on that.
Okay. So if Lopez cannot secure that fight because Haney is going in another direction, rightfully so, because he needs more fights.
Yeah.
And Lopez was to move on, would we hold that against Lopez because Haney needs more time?
But also too, what if Devin Haney wants it next, but Teal start getting out here capping? Do we just let Teal off the hook because you know some of us feel like, oh, Devin Haney need more time, but what if Devin don't want more time and he want to get in there?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm trying to get an understanding for the people, like what Ralphie saying, because that's plausible. That it makes sense. You know, hey, this kid might need more time, but I cannot ask Lopez. Not talking about capping anything, just talking about the process. If Lopez decide to move on, and Haney saying he need more time, can we hold that against Lopez if he decides to move on and move up?
You can't hold that against Lopez because that's not his choice. He will be Devin's choice.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'm with that.
You saying if they both agree to that, they gonna do something different?
No. If Haney opted to have more time, could you blame Lopez? And I say no. You can't blame.
No, hell no, not at that point. Like if Devin out here saying, no, I need a warm up fight or a tune up or whatever. Nah, if Lopez want to do something else at that point, then yeah, Devin Haney just missed out on that opportunity. That's why I just want to push for it now, because you see all of these different divisions, all these undisputed fights is happening this year, all of them. You know, we got Canelo trying to do it at 68. We got Charlo trying to do it at 54 with Castano. It's moving. It's moving this year. So if you just take a little break, a little step back, like we see, I mean, I guess they said Manny Pacquiao might get his belt back. So whatever. I ain't gonna talk about 47, but.
Now, I do want to just add here. I think Raphie makes an excellent point with his getting to the flow of things, because when you look at like the Antonio Moran fight and the Abdullah fight, it's like it's like, everything was flowing so nice, and then that sweet punch was always coming, and then these past three fights I could see where people are like, hey, I haven't really seen that flow come together yet. So that's a very good point.
Yeah. I don't think he's meshed. Everything together yet. The outside game, the inside game. I don't think it's meshed it yet. That doesn't mean to say he couldn't win against Teofimo Lopez. I'm just putting myself in as his hypothetical manager. I'm just saying what I would do. I think he needs some more refining. I don't know if there's any particular benefit in rushing. I don't know what he gains by rushing. Is he ready or is he not ready? I'm not sure he's ready. If I'm his manager, I'm saying I'm looking at some strategic fights here to work on some things. Tone says, I'd like to see Undisputed. Haney has a world title, so should fight all comers, including Lopez, in my opinion. Take the L place off. No baby thing.
I agree, yo. Flame of fame to that comment right there.
Yeah, man. But suppose he loses. What have you gained? What's the point? What's the point in putting him in?
Hey, man, the glory, man. You went there, you took the risk.
Than you need to. What's the point?
Well, the point would be that he has an undisputed title fight under his belt. He's still a world titlist. Look, if he gonna beat Lopez, he gonna beat Lopez. I don't think a fight would make a difference. I think now, maybe 3 fights would make a difference, but I don't know if fighting Ryan Garcia is gonna prepare you for a Lopez fight anyway, because their pacing is so different. Their style is so different.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, so I don't even know what would that fight do. I mean, it would be a little bit more credit to Lopez because Haney would have beat Garcia and put another name on his resume, therefore validating Teofimo fight with Haney, because Haney would be more valuable going into the fight. But I don't see how him fighting anybody outside of going to a Lopez will help him out in preparation for Lopez. That's my point.
I just want to say this. I don't want to be negative, but that Ryan Garcia fight ain't gonna happen with Devin. That's just my thoughts, my feeling on it. This man ducked that fight already. He ducked it for 2 in a fight. He's in mental depression or whatever right now. And now from the couch, he talking about he would have knocked out Devin Haney. So you had an opportunity to fight the champ, and Linares stepped up and you didn't. So fall back.
I get you. And we're moving on nice and sweetly, nice and neatly. How can you be ready? How can you not be ready if you're a world champion? I don't get it. Okay, and that's a beautiful segue, because just the other day, was it yesterday, we had an interview from Deontay Wilder over there at AJbxng, and it was quite insightful. And one of the things that I found quite interesting was when Deontay said that it was a long, tough fight. It was a long, grueling fight in there, in the courtrooms, in the arbitration, in the mediation. He's been fighting for this whole time to get what is rightfully his, which is the trilogy fight with Tyson Fury. It was different. It was a different narrative. It was a different point of view, because on the one hand, people have been saying, damn, forget about that. Let's go ahead. Let's get the undisputed. But from Deontay's point of view, you could see he had a point. He had a very valid point. He said, listen, we signed for undisputed, we signed for a trilogy fight. So I want my trilogy fight. Why should he be able to walk away and not fulfill the contract that we signed? So that's a good point, but then it gets complicated when, according to Eddie Hearn, whose legal people are looking through the papers now, he sees that Arab Fury could have walked away from any contractual agreement to fight after December. So in December 2020, they could have walked away. They could have signed a piece of paper that says, okay, we haven't had the fight yet. We are legally able to walk away. And they could have did that, but they didn't. And that was in December. So what the hell? Sporting advantage.
Yeah, no, that's very good research by you. And it does bring a lot of question marks around like what really happened, in all these negotiations. But one thing can be said here is, you have Shelly Finkel coming out and, even him, he's saying that, all roads are leading to AJ. So that's, you kind of like to hear that, but, going based off the past, I don't know if I believe it.
What did you say? Shelly Finkel said that all roads lead to AJ. Is that what you just said?
Well, yeah, he was saying that, after Tyson Fury, it's, for sure we're going for AJ, like kind of like ruling out like the possibility of like, something happening with, a fourth fight happening or something like that.
I see. Yeah, John Daly writes, look at Dillian versus AJ. Both fighters benefited from that fight. Matching young guys benefited both fighters, even though one has to lose. Managing a fighter too carefully can stunt a fighter. That's a good point. That's a fair point indeed. I don't trust that Finkel one tiny bit. Yeah, he hasn't proved trustworthy and honest in the past in his negotiations with Joshua, so I don't think I'm trusting him now. We've heard it all before. Yeah, we're interested in Joshua. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe with this strange saga. Coach Kai, what's your take on that?
I got I like everything that's going on, to be honest with you, because they're heavyweights. They can't go anywhere. These guys are going to be stuck with each other whether they like it or not. And they really need to buckle down a little bit better and try to make this stuff happen, because there's no in and out at the heavyweight division. I do like the Wilder versus Fury 3 fight. I do like AJ versus Wilder. I like all the combinations that we haven't gotten because they're all heavyweights. I mean, let's get this going. I like it. You know, they're going to fight each other 2-3 times. It's not going to be a one and done type situation. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, any boxer, a heavyweight, that think they're going to one and done and run the table and then just skate out of boxing, I have to disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to fight these guys 2 to 3 times because this is a better era of heavyweights. That was the point of us waiting so long for a couple of guys in the new era to get their opportunity to fight Klitschko. Mm-hmm. And AJ and Fury did just that. So now we got 2 guys that have received the torch from the guy from the previous era. Okay. That's a good thing because, you know, welterweight, we don't have that. Mayweather ran off into the sunset, so we don't really know who or how to crown somebody outside of undisputed. But Wilder versus Fury is going to be a closure fight, assuming that Tyson was to win. If he was to win this fight and stop Wilder, then Wilder has no grounds, in my opinion, to request any other thing with Fury. I wouldn't purchase it. I wouldn't support it. I wouldn't obligate Fury to fight him a 4th time if he's stop him. Now, the trick is this. If Wilder goes in here and stops Fury, then they got to fight again because we're still back to square one. And AJ, meanwhile, fighting Usyk, I think that's a good fight as well, too. And then I think AJ can hold on, but I really want Fury to go in here and put closure on this. For his legacy's sake, you don't want Deontay Wilder to linger around. You want to go ahead and put the nail in that coffin to add to your legacy. I mean, 2 victories over Deontay Wilder by stoppage, paired with Klitschko and the rest of everything that Tyson Fury's done, looks good. You know what I'm saying? Then you can go into the AJ fight comfortably, you know, in my opinion, for undisputed. So I like the fight. And they didn't make us wait for a year or 2 or 18 months. I mean, we getting it. It's going to be what, July? It's coming, baby. So Wilder better be ready. It's coming. When so do Fury. Fury better be ready. But the last thing I'm gonna say is, what concerns me about Fury is his dad's interview, and some of the concerns that his own dad has. And I'm gonna be looking at that to see if America is finessing, to see if America's trying to push an agenda by keeping the American heavyweight and breaking up the British combination of Fury versus AJ, because maybe America don't want to see that. Maybe they want to, you know, put Wilder back in position. So his dad raised some good questions, and I'm going to check his premises out and be watching for that kind of stuff. But I got Fury by stoppage over Deontay Wilder.
Fury by stoppage over Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Marius is making me laugh up in here. Marius is making me laugh. Where is Marius? Marius, I found you highly entertaining, but I don't know. Should I leave him around? Let him stay. He's entertaining. He's talking along the
I'd like him to hit the link because this isn't easy work. So come on up here, bud.
Hit the link then. Where are we at? I stayed silent in the background. You've been lying, says Marius. Okay. There we are. So I'll put the link in the chat again. It's at the top already. But you say you want to challenge the Raphie. Hey, brother, come on in. Come on in, brother. That's my Elvis Presley impersonator. Come on in, brother.
Hey, so let me get an understanding. So this guy, Dominique that's coming in, he's saying he is a LDBC supporter.
Yeah, he's gonna come and give me that work.
Oh, he's gonna give you that work. Oh, what's the premise on what?
I don't know. I don't know this cat, but he says he wants to come in and give Raphie that work. So the link is there, my friend. Come on in. Let's see. Let me start you out on the pads. Yeah, I want to start you out on the pads, and then if you can manage the pads, I'll give you a round on the heavy bag, and then we can step on the ring. We can step in the ring. Come on in, Marius Dominique. That's an interesting work name. Okay, so in the meantime, while Marius gets his head together, what am I saying? What am I saying about this? Yeah, the Fury Wilder thing, it's been a crazy thing. It looks like a setup by Bob Arum. They could have walked away in December. They chose not to. Okay, so they're going to fight for the third time, the trilogy fight. Okay, so let it be. It's like Coach K said, it's not like we're gonna have to wait from now till 18 months time. No, it's like where are we now? June, July, 6 weeks. We've only got 6 weeks to wait, so then it's out of the way. Can I give Deontay Wilder a chance? He's got a puncher's chance, surely. You know what? I gotta be honest. I think that Marius Dominique is up in here. Okay, so if you guys just mute your mic, this won't take long. Okay, the rules of the house. Marius we like to keep it gentlemanly over here, so kindly refrain from the use of where the hell's he gone? Come on back in, Marius. But as I was just saying, rules of the house, kindly refrain from the use of obscenities. It's like, kind of keep it gentlemanly up in here. So come on in when you're ready. You were there for a second and you got cold feet, but come on back, my friend. Come on back. Okay, so what am I saying? I've got a funny feeling. My logic tells me that Deontay Wilder is going to get battered from pillar to post. That's what my logical mind tells me. But I don't know. I've got my illogical mind says that Deontay Wilder is gonna be much better than he was in the first fight or the second fight. Well, he couldn't have been worse than the second fight, but he's gonna be much better than he was in the first fight, and he's gonna put up a much better performance. That's what my illogical mind's telling me. And my illogical.
That's a very good point. You have the first fight, for instance, you have Wilder staying neck and neck with Fury, on the stats wise. And he got a draw with that. But the second fight, I mean, it's like Fury hit a home run with the stats, man. Like, it was such a difference. And when you look at him, it's just like you almost think that, the guy shouldn't have even been in there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. He's changed up a lot of things in his camp. So we'll see how it plays out. But he's got a very steep mountain to climb if he wants to beat that last fight stats. So we'll see. Maybe Fury's been playing around and he'll get a easy night. I don't know.
It's my logical mind and my illogical mind. It's my logical mind versus a hunch. A hunch ain't good. A hunch is illogical. It's just a feeling. It's a thought. It can't be quantified. But sometimes hunches come good. So my logical mind says one thing, my hunch says another thing. My logical mind says Deontay gets beaten from pillar to post. That's my logical mind. The hunch says he could potentially knock out Tyson Fury. That's the hunch. But he's dropped him twice. It's you know what? It's quite.
Fury dropped him twice. Fury dropped him twice. Remember, Fury dropped him twice. People keep forgetting that part. Fury dropped him twice.
Wow.
People got to remember that now.
That's a good point. That's a damn good point. You see, you just turned into a robot there, Dalek there, Coach K. You just came like a Dalek. He came over like a Dalek. Doctor Who, the robots, the Daleks. Yeah. And you might need to drop out and drop back in, Coach K, because your audio's gone. Yeah. Let me just drop the link back in. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. It's in again. Yeah, so it's my logical mind versus my hunch. My logical mind says Fury's going to batter him. My hunch says Deontay Wilder might knock out Tyson Fury. How crazy is that? Sporting advantage. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, you raised very good arguments for both cases. Wilder has the highest knockout percentage. So yeah, you're not wrong in saying that. But again, when we look at that last fight, Fury looked like a damn welterweight with the amount of punches he was throwing and landing. So, like I said, it's very tough to root on the side of Deontay Wilder after looking at all that.
Yeah. And Coach K.
Yeah, let me get a mic check.
Sorry for cussing, by the way.
Yeah. Come on in. Yeah, you're good, Coach. You're good, Coach.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I hate these streams, man. It's like when we get to cooking, it's try to fade out, even if you don't touch the equipment. But however, Fury put him down twice. One to the head, one to the body. Mm-hmm. And the problem is that Fury has completely neutralized Deontay Wilder's right hand. That's the problem. It's like, where else is Deontay Wilder gonna go? Like we saying, he's doing stuff in practice and he looks good on the pad and he's working on new things, but that's just practice. It has to be applied in the ring, and that muscle memory is going to go back to, the windmill punching, the right hand. When he gets in trouble, he's going to look for the right hand, man. He's not going to systematically sit in there and break down Tyson Fury to a victory. He's going to be Wilder. He might pump the jab. He might try to implement what he did against Vern. He might the first fight. He may try to jab a little bit more to set up the right hand. But Fury is just on top of that. And then I could just only imagine the pre-fight post conferences. Tyson is going to talk so much trash to Wilder that I think he's going to get in his head psychologically. I just don't think Wilder is going to stick to any game plan, because I'm looking at the interview and he's still sucking his teeth and doing these weird mannerism type of thing, like all that teeth sucking and talking about the gods and I'm a king. Kings tend to get their head knocked off, and the kingdom usually falls when you take the king's head off because they have nobody else. It's just one shot, one kill. And that's what we in right now. So I'm not into the whole Deontay Wilder's a king and all that kind of shit there. But I believe that Fury is going to get inside his head, and whatever game plan they claim they're going to come in with, I don't think Deontay Wilder's going to be able to stick to it. I just don't think he's going to be able to stick to it. I think that Fury is under his skin or inside his head rent free. Because you just look at how Deontay Wilder acting now. He's not been psychologically and socially the same since the fight. He's all over the place. His interview is still talking. It's not business. It's more of this. It's like he's trying to adopt this image of what he visualized Wakanda should be. It's like he's stuck in Wakanda. It's like he believes that he's some type of tribal African leader. I'm gonna tell you something, man. That'll get you hurt when you're not living in reality. Because I'm a history major, with a minor in psychology. So what he's doing is not going to be practical for a fight, in my opinion. You can just look at his behaviors. You know what I'm saying? His behaviors. Good.
Yeah. Well, okay. What do I think about that? Like I said, there's my logical mind and there's my hunch. My logical mind says he gets beaten from Deontay Wilder gets beaten from pillar to post. That's my logical mind. That's what my logical mind says. But my hunch is that Deontay Wilder knocks out Tyson Fury. But it's totally illogical. It's totally don't make no sense whatsoever. But it's a little hunch. So I I got the logical parrot on one shoulder, and on the other shoulder, I got a hunch. Which will I go with, the logic or the hunch? 9 times out of 10, I'll go with the logic, and then 1 time out of 10, I'll go with the hunch. This one to me, I guess I'm in the minority. I actually see this one. as 50-50. I'm going from one side to the other. I'm just looking at the hunch, the possibility that Deontay Wilder could just knock over the apple cart. It's been done. It's been done in history. And as illogical as it may be, we can't rule out the possibility that such a situation could come to pass. You know what? I'm not going to long out the thing. It's not going to be any kind of long thing tonight. No problem. Sporting Advantage's laptop just gave in. It's not going to be a long thing tonight. Raphie's very, very busy these last few days and the next few days. So just come to feed the people. Come to give the Raphie Dawkins Combat Radio people and the people beyond some boxing news and chat. And Zone Coach K has dropped off. I don't know if he dropped up deliberately or it was an accident. I don't know, but the link is right there. But I want to thank everybody for coming through. Who do we have? We had the Iron Kong. We had the Sporting Advantage. We had the UGC. We had the Coach K. I think that was everybody. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Excellente. Great to have all of you guys on. Coach K, Iron Kong, Sporting Advantage, UGC. And of course, everybody out there in the chat, everybody listening currently, everybody who's going to listen in the future, much appreciation. Much appreciation goes out to our sponsor. And there she is, the lovely Lisa Bayliss. Much appreciation for your contribution. Okay, so that's it. It's the Raphie Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it is the hitting the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. So don't forget about the live show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's the Raphie Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the peace, and I'm out. Blessed.